Okay guys, now we're going to pick up right where we left off when we were talking about our htaccess file. Instead of dealing with the htaccess file directly now, we will be using it. What we want to do is we want to take a look at kind of creating that directory, or forcing us to need a password to get into this directory. Okay, so for us to do anything in this directory, we want to make sure someone has a password for it. The way we're going to do that is by using an Apache module called mod auth. The mod auth that we're going to use is the basic one. There are several that you can use, and each have their own little flair to them. We'll take a look here at the ones that we get. So we got auth basic module. We got auth digest module. You can see auth basic module has a check next to it, so that means it's actually already turned on. You can see there's some other auth N and auth Z ones. If you want to know what any of them do in particular, you can just go to the Apache website and look it up. They actually describe it much better than I could. I'll kind of go quickly through a couple though. Like basic is what we're going to do, which means that the passwords get sent in clear text, so it's not the most secure way of doing things. Digest is a little fancier, so things kind of get done with tokens. The DB and the DBM just means that and even the alias and anonymous, they're all done so that you authenticate in different ways, and the information is just stored in a different spot. So you'll if you decide you want to play with some of this stuff, you'll get a good feel for it. If not, just basic is generally what most setups are. You need to really be customizing to something in particular if you're using a digest one. But there you go. Now, what we're going to do is we made sure that the digest was turned on, so we don't need to do anything else, or not digest, that mod basic authentication was turned on, so that's good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a, we got to go to the command prompt, because we need to use a program called the the HT password program. So that would be HTPASSWD. First thing you'll notice is that it's not in the your system path. So we need to go to the folder that we want to work in first. So we're going to go to WAMP www test folder. So you'll see we have our .htaccess file is there, and all is good. This is going to be where I'm going to put the stuff. So we want to call a program from WAMP WAMP bin let's see, where is that file? I better find the file first. It does get moved sometimes between things, so we go WAMP bin Apache 2.6 bin. Okay, the file is in this spot here. There is the file that we need to be able to access. So I'm going to go WAMP, just so I can see the path. Bin Apache and the version number. Bin HTPASSWD. I'm just going to hit enter. You'll see that it'll pop up some stuff. So what we want to do here is we want to create a new file. Okay, and we're going to call the file .ht password. And the reason we're going to call it .ht is that way it's not going to appear in our listing. So here we go. -c. Then we're going to say the file name .htpasswd, and the user I want to add to this file. The user I'm going to add to this file will just be ed. I'll hit enter. It'll ask me for a password. I'm going to keep it simple. Ed. And now that's created that file for me. So if I come back into my test folder, you'll see that I have this .htpasswd file. Now I'm going to open that one with Notepad as well, so that we can at least see what it looks like. So you'll see in that file now there'll be the name ed, then there'll be a whole bunch of stuff between two $ things, then there'll be a whole bunch of other stuff. What all that means is that this here is my encrypted password. In this case it's ed, and then this is the username. So as long as I type ed, the system will actually kind of take whatever I type into it, it'll convert it to this and check to see if it matches up. So just to show you the one big gotcha you do run into from this, so I'm going to add a new user, Bob, and I'll make Bob's password Bob. So we think, okay, all is good, I'm happy, everything's good, but where did Ed go? Okay, so Ed's gone, Bob is there. So you're going, okay, well, I guess I must have goofed. I'll put Ed back. And now when I do that, Ed is there and Bob is gone. The reason for that is this -c. Anytime that -c is in place, when you're using this particular file, you create a new entry. You create a new file, so it blanks whatever's there out and creates a new file. So be a little careful when you're doing that if you're looking to add 3 or 4 users, because oftentimes you'll end up adding all your users and then have really only added the last one. So this time I removed the -c, and I'm going to add Bob. And now when I come here and look at this, you'll see that there is Bob and there is Ed, and Notepad doesn't do that the best. Let's see if I got WordPad here. WordPad will open this better. So let me just change that again. Of open with, I'm going to tell it to use WordPad as its default. Okay, so you can see that we have this one little part that's the same between the two of them that tells the system how the password's encrypted actually, and then it encrypts the password. So that plus that means ed, and that plus that equals Bob. So who knows why, that's just the way it happens to be. So we have that much done. We still don't really have our password locked down, but our video's getting a little long here, so I'm going to stop right now, and then I'll kind of pick back up right at this point to going through how we actually turn this on. So I'll be right back.